Welcome back. It's Melanie, your She Shed Scrapper. So today I am back with a 2-page Disney layout, a Toy Story layout to be specific. I bought those two die cuts from Petticoat Parlor. I bought them from a local scrapbook store, but that's who made them. And I did buy them separate, and then I just combined them because lately I have been kind of planning out my layouts ahead of time, kind of knowing where my photos are going to be. And so I had kind of spaced it out and knew exactly where I wanted to kind of overlap those two so that they would both fit on that same spot. And so I just decided to tape it together ahead of time. I believe this is Say Cheese at the Park collection. I just bought a handful of things from the collection, again from a local scrapbook store. So I decided to use that plaid paper, and I cut it 5 inches and 7 inches. And the fun thing about this is I had actually taken my son with me to the scrapbook store, and I had given him this specific piece of paper, the plaid one, and said go find Toy Story things, die cuts that match this paper. And so he actually picked out the Toy Story and the Woody, and I love the two and actually love how they combine as well. So I decided then to add a strip going across the 2 pages of that red polka dotted. I did end up buying 2 of them. The backside is a really nice gray ledger paper, and so I think I cut it maybe 6 inches, 5 inches. But because I did 5 and 7, I was able to then cut that red paper 5 and 7 again, and then, swap sides. And so they don't line up perfectly, but I knew I also wanted to bring in kind of a barrier between the two. And so my son was actually out in the she shed with me this day, and he picked out this blue paper. And so I did just a 1/4 inch strips for each side of the plaid paper there, and you will actually probably see little hands because I decided to bring him over and ask him for his opinion. So if pieces of ephemera just start appearing, it's him kind of trying to help with the layout. So just kind of fun to have him out there and helping with this layout in more than one way, with him picking out that Woody and Toy Story. So once I have those done, I am just going to kind of start gluing down my photos, and yeah, I just really like how I was able to get so many photos on just these 2 pages and a really good kind of large title there. So here are all of the photos, so many, and one thing I needed his help on is that the space under the title on the left hand side, it was wide open, and so I kind of asked him what I should do there. I had a feeling that I had another photo I could place there. We got their autographs, and so I kind of was playing around with that idea while also kind of moving kind of some ephemera pieces around. I did do another Toy Story layout. That one was actually just shown in my layout share from May. So I have two 2-page layouts I did off camera, but those are, I believe, at the front of the layout share in May. So definitely check those out because those 2 were page kits from Paper Wizard, and I really love the way that those 2 turned out as well. So there's his little hands with that ephemera. I just had to make sure that I mentioned it to you guys, because obviously you could see my 2 hands, and all of a sudden that little Mickey on the left hand side appeared. So we had already decided we were going to put a photo there, I think, and so he was kind of helping too to see if maybe we could fill it in with some ephemera instead. So what I decided to do, because I had to go inside to print my photo and I didn't want to take the time, I decided to just kind of make a mat. And so I did 6 1/4 by 4 1/4 with the French vanilla paper there, and then with the blue paper I did 6.5 by 4.5, and just made my own little kind of placeholder, and everything will be matted for me already. I did go ahead and print it. That is done and on there, and it is a photo of the boys getting Woody and Jesse's autograph. So when I embellish, you will see that I kind of go along those themes, that theme, I guess, in the bottom left corner there. So now we get to embellishing. I didn't love the size of that Dreams over on the far right. It just was too small for me. I didn't fill in that space as good as I was hoping, and so I went to the chipboard instead and found a large piece. And I think it's Magical Day at the Park. And I just thought that size fit so much better. It filled in that space really nicely and kind of maybe offset the heaviness of page 1 with that large title, if that makes sense. Just kind of drew your eye down to the bottom as well, and it's not just focused up on the top left with that Toy Story title. I am going to end up leaving those 2 tags at the top, or flags, and I will kind of journal just a little bit, maybe just the date and whatnot. Not too much up there, but just a little bit. I did go ahead and kind of separate out some pieces that I thought maybe I want to use. I did that ahead of time, and so once this is all done, again, it's just kind of, it's so busy because there's so many photos and so many colors, and it's just a lot. And so embellishing, I kind of kept on the more simple side, I think. I did end up adding that sun to the top. It just filled in that space really nicely. And then I found a little puffy sticker that said autographs, and so I did pop up half of that on foam tape on the bottom left. I had to leave the overlapping part up off the page so I could sneak my photo down there. Funny thing is, I added that little tag, ticket and camera to the middle of page 2 and never actually taped it down on camera. I didn't realize it until I had finished the layout, and I was like, oh yeah, I should probably tape those down. The little ticket says blast off, and I know we didn't meet Buzz this particular day, but I just thought it was absolutely perfect for Toy Story, and so I did end up using that, and just really kind of having fun piecing things together. So I did find some little hearts that I kind of rounded at the top of the magical, the little yay banner, and all smiles down on the far left. And then I remembered I had this sticker sheet, so I am going to end up adding some phrase stickers, which I absolutely love, and love that it fills in that space in the top right perfectly. One thing though, I started this layout and realized that I have a Disney box from Scrap and Happy Studio on its way, and so I will end up adding a couple of those to this layout. One I know specific will be with that ticket and the camera in the middle. There's only 2 pieces. I like to have 3, so I'll definitely be adding one there, but definitely check that out. It is the most gorgeous box of all Disney flares, canvas and epoxy and mini and everything that you could want Disney. So definitely check that out. I will link this collection down below as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.